Okay, another test, another technical setup, and I'm wondering if this can record and get the transcript, and then I can use the transcript to feed into my project, so I can capture certain thinking as I'm going along, and I can extract the elements that are important for the work that I do. Because I do use audio and talking quite well, but I don't have anybody to talk to because I'm alone here in a room in Wales. Right, I'm building this thing called Xstream, and it's a mind-bending piece of tech that potentially transforms how we use this medium, even this medium. And the insight that I had this morning was that Xstream is a mass listening device. Okay, not in Big Brother kind of way, okay, as in Big Brother that is a nice brother. How about that? Okay, where it's basically because we're not being heard. There are things going on in the world that we object to, and for whatever reason, our representatives and the various structures that we're in prevent us being heard. Okay, and so therefore we suffer, and we suffer in various forms. And for some reason or other, that is not resolved. Okay, and so Xstream is about resolving that. How do we solve these massive global problems, but also the endemic individual problems that we're experiencing? Okay, our neighbors, together. How are we resolving these issues together? And so I'm basically a whistleblower on the whole of technology, the whole of civilization, the whole of adulthood. I'm a whistleblower of the ultimate, form, a social anthropologist, mathematician, and I've worked with kids and adolescents, and I've hacked money. I think transformed how this medium works. And once you start to appreciate how this works, you might start appreciating that the world is different. Okay, and so this medium is different. So okay, so I have this method called mind flow, which is kind of waking up, falling asleep, and I used to wake up and write, but writing was too heavy, and so luckily phones popped up and then recording devices, and so you could just wake up, press that button, record, and then just verbalize. And verbalizing thought at that kind of border between sleeping and waking means that you can just about trace the thoughts that you're having. And because it's on that border, it means that the flexibility and degree of thinking is of a different nature than when you're on land and you're conscious and it has to fit into reality and logic and reasoning and everything else. And anyway, and so the most recent update is that the mind flow can be then the transcribed, given to an AI, and then say, okay, so what are the major points? So this rambling thing like me yabbing on for 10 minutes, half an hour, whatever it is, 20 minutes, becomes a cogent thought. So it kind of helps the process of turning a thing which is just some idea into a palpable content, solid content. Okay, so I need a video means by which this occurs too. So, and I haven't had that yet. I've never had this in my life, and I'm hoping that this could be the means of doing so. So I record something and then get the transcription, stick it in the ALM, and I get synthesis, which means that I get to do the job of recording something and it comes back out. But it's to do with engagement with another human being. And that's slightly different than just recording something audio-wise. Actually, there is a part of this where I think it's so much different than talking and expressing what it is that one's thinking, and that's it. Like jacksing. Jacksing is that process where you're just responding to music and you're just verbalizing your thoughts. Whereas this thing embodies too much of this idea that somebody's looking at you and you're having a conversation, okay? And therefore, I'm telling you something. And that notion is not the objective of this. The objective of this is to get insight into what it is that I'm thinking. And I should be able to set this up so that I can write things on a board or something. And I'm attempting to verbalize how this structure works. And it's not I'm not telling anybody anything because I'm sitting here trying to work it out. Okay, and I find that it flicks into this notion that I'm telling somebody something. So when I'm teaching kids, I have to check the audio, for example, for this, and I should be checking whether this is right on a board or something. But, so what's happening? It's not so much that I'm projecting out, and there's a tendency to think. There's a tendency to think that this kind of content and a video and stuff, I'm putting it out there, and there's a tendency to do that. So when I'm teaching maths, a lot of the kids are kind of, oh god, because they're basically getting delivered, stuff's being delivered to them. And whereas I'm kind of going, okay, this is what I'm doing with math. Oh, and then I start warbling about the maths. And then I'm getting them to understand or getting it to align to the fact that it's not to do with what I'm writing. What I'm writing is already too slow. I'm already thinking something. I'm thinking something. I'm trying to follow my thinking. Okay. And this is how I kind of keep track of my thoughts as I'm going along. Algebra. And at the end of it, oh look, I've got the solution. Fantastic. And so it's a process that I am operating concurrently and watch. And here it is. Now, I'm not trying to tell anybody that. I'm just kind of demonstrating it. It's like, here I am juggling, watch, blah, 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 blah. Right, okay, you got it? Right. And it's not, I'm telling you, it's more like I'm doing something. And you can align yourself with it and guess what I'm trying to do. Well, you're not trying to guess. You're trying to go, I can see what I'm doing. I'm thinking this thing with this person, and it makes sense as it's happening. Do that. Okay? And that means that it's one of the formal experiences that I've had where it made sense. And it worked. And the kids seemed to enjoy maths. And they got insight into maths. Because I was locating it in their mind rather than it's on a board or it's in my mind. Okay? And so it's not presenting to somebody, it is doing something. Okay, so it's like, so that's the way I taught. Now, the problem is, and kids manage to get hold of that kind of way of doing it because it's natural to them, because it's live, because it's happening. And I'm sensitive to the fact that people are alive. So you're alive. And I don't need it. But there's something that happens when I engage in this way that makes the thing I'm exploring more real. More real, okay? Because if it's just me, I don't have enough if it's just me and I'm kind of just playing around with a thought or an idea like I just did just now, it's too vapor. Whereas when you're explaining, so when I was teaching maths and negative numbers and everything else, it's like, wait, what is going on here? And asking, wait, what is going on here? And the kids are going, oh yeah, how does that work? Blah, blah, blah. And you're like, yeah, okay, how does that work? Wait, okay, this is what I think's going on. What do you think? And then a kid would burp up something. And eventually I came up with this, wait a minute, they've got there's so many different ways of understanding what this negative numbers. Why is it some kids have really great difficulty with it? And it's because they have other ways of thinking about it. And that other way of thinking about it doesn't mean that it's wrong. Okay, it just means it's a different way of thinking, which sounds to me very helpful and useful if it gives insight into what we're doing. And so there are certain forms of maths where there are kids, for example, that don't understand maths, and yet they can do high-level maths when they get there. If they can survive the early stages, they get up to a certain level, and they're like, wow, I could do this naturally. And they get to university level, and they're like laughing. All right, why? Because it's a certain level of complexity and abstraction. And when they were at school, it was like 1 + 1 is 2, 2 + 2 is 4. Okay, there's things, and they're just like, what the hell is that? But then they get to the point with, oh, I know what they're talking about. They're talking about this. They're not talking about objects. It's something else. And it's to do with sound. It's to do with meaning. Okay, music. It's music, all right? And so there are mathematicians that have got different levels of processing that the mathematics, different forms of mathematics, enables them to perform better or easier. And so, and I think we get it completely wrong, for example, with kids. And what we're doing is we're teaching them the solid way when they're actually liquid. Okay, so they're singing and count to 20, count objects, they can't do it. Okay, and yet we're testing them on, you have to be able to count objects. And that causes a lot of disruption, a lot of distress in a lot of people because it's not natural. The natural thing is count to 20 because they can talk and they can sing. Okay, the unnatural thing is counting objects because it's an object, it's a thing. And that's the basis of science. And that first heavy pressure upon the human being to be able to learn to count is the same like letters and words. If it's done too heavily, it's like, bloody hell. They're sitting there talking, they're enjoying themselves, they're talking, they're communicating, and then it's like text. It's like, oh, bloody hell. The cat sat on the mat. Are you happy? Are you happy? What the fuck's all this about? Like, what is the cat over there? It's jumping over there. And, you know, talk. Okay, no. The cat sat on the... Oh, Christ. And we decimate these kids, okay? So, so I need to be able to engage or make use of this communicative method in order to clarify what I'm trying to do with Xstream. Okay, because Xstream is transforming the whole text thing, and because of AI agency, I think it's potentially right on the edge of where we are. And it's about social. It's about how do we get together socially. And so the transform that I came up with today, or the insight that I got into it, and most of the time that I spend most of my life is not trying to get insights, it's just waiting, looking at the pieces and hopefully finding a new way to put them together. And when I'm actually building this thing, the tendency to build components and constructions and all that, it's like, oh my God, well, just whoa. And that's the LLM. And the LLM is trained on our data, our understanding, language, and coding. And it's also following certain patterns that I think are inefficient and ineffective. So I have to fight LLM to kind of like, you know, not that way, just, you know, I try to come up with a simpler version of what we're doing. And yet, of course, we have to produce code because that's how the computers are working currently, okay? And there's certain platforms and so on and so forth, the archaeology, the structures that are already there. In the same way, when I leave the house, there's like a road there that goes left, right, and I can't just wander off the field. I can wander across the field, but I have to go over a fence and it's barbed wire and it's kind of difficult. And so in order to go over there, I have to go right or left. I want to go over there, but I have to go left or right. Oh, right. And it's that kind of thing. We're faced with a lot in society where there are things already there, a road. I mean, to be built there, it's like literally solid and I have to go left or right. And that's what we do in society. Okay, so you're a kid and you're like, okay, what do you want to be? What do you mean, what do I want to be? What do you want to be, you know, when you're 30? What kind of profession? Oh, profession, do I have to have a profession? The kid's just like, I don't know. I like food. Oh, you'd like to be a cook? Okay. And before you know it, they're 30, 35, and they're like, why am I cooking? Why am I spending all of my days and nights? Days probably some nights. Cooking. It's like, bloody hell, I'm more than just a cook. And so we've got these kind of structures that we fit ourselves into, and then before you know it, we do it, and then we self-identify. I'm the person that went right. Oh, are you? I'm one of the people that went left. Okay, I'm a cook. Okay, I'm a teacher. Oh my God, I'm a father. Oh, I'm a blah, blah. It's like, and that self justification and the concurrent social manifestation that everybody's doing this thing is the prison that we're in, and I call it archive or solid. Okay, and when you're listening to what I'm talking about, I am not on one of these paths. I'm definitely off one of the roads, and I'm off-piste, and I'm exploring things, and I'm trying to put together some aspects of the system using traditional code and traditional mathematics and, you know, traditional money, but in a way that is different. Okay, so we've hacked money and we've got vector money. Okay, but it uses money in the sense that money comes in, it gets transformed into credits, and then we use these credits in a slightly different way. It is actually money, it's just a number, but it's used in a slightly different way. You can't buy or sell anything with it. Huh? Really? Well, all you can do is share. That's correct. So if you're enjoying this experience, okay, at some point, I don't know, because this is what, does it even tell me what the 14 minutes, nobody's going to listen to this. You share it forwards. And the act of sharing forwards, you put some money into sharing it forwards because you're thinking, this is valuable. Who do I know that's going to like this? And you share it forwards to them. They think it's valuable. And so it just grows. I don't have to do anything about it. You have to do something about it. And when you share something, all right, when you come up with some brilliant thing, or you're exploring something, or you're trying to do something, you share that with a few people, and hopefully they go, oh, this is quite valuable, this is quite interesting, and they share it forwards. And hopefully, if we're good at sharing forwards to the right people, the people that really like the thing that you're on basically want to follow and go, okay, so what are we doing here? Because they're also co-creating. That's the trick. If it was just followers, and that's what we have, we're followers. I need 1 million people to follow me. Okay, follow me where? Where am I going? Who are these celebrities? Who are these leaders? Okay, and I'm saying no. What we're trying to do is coordinate our following, not follow a leader. I'm not interested in a freaking leader because they're all just like nuts as far as I can tell. We're all just going off a cliff, society-wise, environmentally. AI is coming. It's a freaking disaster. Okay, what we need to do is coordinate the fact that we're listening together. That's the trick. Okay, so while we're sitting there watching a football game, for whatever reason, recently, I've just noticed this, in football, at the beginning of every game, it's like, oh, somebody's died. And so everyone's kind of quiet for a bit because somebody's died. Some old footballers died. You're like, all right, okay. And it's really quite nice, but it's almost close to a religious experience. The football stadium has become the only place, because people aren't going to church, to have a spiritual experience to talk about mortality. Can you imagine? A football game. That's how screwed up the world is. All right, and I bet it's not happening in America, or maybe it is, and we just copied it. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, so and I need to have ways to record the thoughts that I've had, and then it's quite funny. There's some aspect of this thing, and I think, and I would like that. I would like to be able to enjoy sharing some thoughts that I think are funny. Okay. And are interesting and engaging without being stressed out about explaining anything to anybody. I don't want to explain anything. I've never wanted to explain anything to anybody, including kids. Like I'm a child. You mean like a child, like at school where you're told shit? Fuck that. I never did that when I was teaching, so why would I'm literally being asked to do the very thing that they probably didn't like. It's such a crazy system out there. All right, so I'm creating a little world, okay, a space where the people that engage are like, oh, okay, and I need to start doing this in a way that becomes consistent, so that I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable with you participating in my reality. It's a thing that I don't do very often. I participate in other people's reality most of my life, and I'm operating in their reality, whereas I need people to pay attention to my reality for a bit. Not because of me, not because of my ego, okay, it's because I'm looking at things that I think are quite interesting and funny, okay, and if other people come along and look at this as interesting and funny, and potentially has social significance, okay, in the meantime, it's all together, we might actually be able to change the world, okay, maybe in a small corner of it, mine, yours, a few other people's, and then potentially all of us. Okay, why? Because I'm interested in the psychosocial phenomenon of you watching and other people watching. Okay, and I need to demonstrate that this is possible. I need to be able to exercise it so that people go, okay, what is he doing? Okay, so that it makes sense. Okay, there's something about this process that is making sense, and the people who are watching are making money. It's economically making sense. Okay, that's what scale was meant to be, and I thought it's there, and it's still operational, and I think we could do that. Open business, okay? But what I really need is insight, so anybody who's watching, they go, oh, look, I've got this idea. Oh, have you? Okay, and you record it, and then you get your LLM to come up with, okay, this is the analysis of it, and then my LLM and your LLM, and whatever it is that we're synthesizing, they have a little conversation and spit something out. Okay? And that thing that spits out, we go, well, it contains my ideas. And does it contain yours? Yes, it does. Oh, wow. Okay, wow. It looks as if we're kind of thinking the same things. Da! And so when we engage, we don't engage through text. We engage because we've expressed things. It's been heard, synthesized, and presented back to us in a way that we go, I think I've been heard. What do you think? Yes, you've been heard too. Okay, look, we seem to be hearing this. Wait, are we actually on the same planet here? Oh, we are. Fantastic. Let's engage, and hopefully, when we do actually engage, we engage each other with higher quality engagement. And it's not to do with communicating something to the other person. Stop with that. It's what are we doing together? Obviously, what are we doing together? What's the thing that we're going to do next? Okay, what do you do? So in the classic role-playing thing is, what do you do? What do we do? All right, this is what I do. I climb the wall. I fire now. I walk over there. I do this, that, and the next thing. Like that, but in the real world. So, I don't know the quality of this. I don't know if it's buzzing. I'm going to have to check on that. But since this is the first time I've recorded this, and nobody's here live, which is fine. Okay, it means that I can maybe do this. I think I can do this. And I think maybe. Okay, but it turns into this thing where I'm telling people things, or I'm just saying things that I've already thought. I'm not interested in that, but I'm interested, that'll be part of it. I'm interested in kind of going towards getting into this state that I'm exploring something and you're here with me exploring it too. And the first time we ever hear these thoughts, and a thought will pop into your head, because when I start talking about the maths of psychosocial reality, things will pop into your head, okay? And then you'll go, oh, I thought of something. And then you go running off to write it down and think about it. It's like, that's great. That's perfect. That's brilliant. However, if you just go running off like a crazy person and thinking the things you thought and not actually taking part in our psychosocial reality, then, well, it's okay. Okay, but better than that is you come up with this is what I thought. Great. You know, express them, externalize them, put them into the LLM will just produce it for you. Okay, and then there's a correlation, and because of that correlation, your version of it is for your psychology and for your psychosocial space, and it fits. It should fit. All right, because that's why you've come up with it. Because that's what we are. We are people who fit into our psychosocial reality. It's just that most of the social reality that we're in is completely fact. It's all machinery. It's all concrete, left, right options. Okay, rather than here's a field, here's a mountain, here's a tree. Oh yeah, that tree. Did it go left or right? Did it get a choice left or right? Not really. It just went this way and this way. Right, this way, 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 and it does this incredible this way, this way, this way, this way, and you've got a tree. Okay, now that's what a human being is. Oh, this way, this way, this way, this way, this way. But because of the constraints, it's like a tree in a flower pot. It's a tree, it's in a cubicle. It's a tree that's in walls. It's like a tree growing in a maze. Okay, a tree growing in a maze, or a rectangular, orthogonal maze. Friggin' believable. All right. Anyway, so what I'm saying is get rid of all that. Get rid of all that. Okay. And whatever thoughts occur to you, because I'm going to be describing some maths, it means you will never have heard of anything like this. And if you have, it's because you've seen some other stuff that I come up with. But for most people, it's like, sorry, what are you saying? And then a thought is going to pop in your head because I'm saying, well, look at this math form. It's like this. And I think it's related to this social thing. Blah, 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 blah. And you go, oh, wait, it's like this. Great. Well done. Fantastic. Externalize it. Okay. Once the video is finished or whatever, externalize it or type it in or do something or record your response. You're watching me like Gogglebox. Record yourself while you're watching. Press pause. Go yabbing on. Press start again. Oh, here you are, back again. Fantastic. And do that process. The transcript, push it off into LLM, get the response of it and go, oh, okay. Now, currently what's happening is that those LLMs are separate. They're separate. You've got your LLM and then you produce some solid text. And then you go off, try to deliver that text and sell that text or share that text or get other people to pay that text. That's all solid. Whereas the bit that was absolutely fantastically interesting was you going, oh, I've thought of something. That's the bit that's valuable, obviously. In the incredible complex system that you're in the complex world that you're in, you came up with a new thought or a new insight. Well, that's the thing that's valuable, obviously. Okay, so I'm sitting here trying to put things together and kind of put together, I get maybe an insight or something, I'm trying to explore something. You get one, hopefully it does, all right? And what you do is you produce your version, I'm producing my version. And right now, I'm pushing it through my LLM, pushing through yours, and there's no interaction. It's both gone into solid and into the traditional method by which we communicate. And that's what Xstream changes. So literally your content and literally my content and liquid content, it's not a finished product. It's not the sole thing. It is just a transcript of my thoughts, transcript of your thoughts, and it merges them. That's it. It merges them. And it comes up with, or it says, okay, this person's saying this other person's saying that. I think there's a correlation between these two. Okay, let's bring them together. Let's bring them together. So, all right, okay, who are you? Oh, I'm here. Oh. And I then do my thing, you do your thing, and then the synthesis of that is like, oh, I couldn't produce that by myself. It required you to be listening to produce that. Or you couldn't have produced what you came up with without me yapping. Okay, so the end result, the thing that becomes solid, is co-created effortlessly, naturally, because of the thoughts that occur to you and what you wish to express, and naturally for me, because I've spent my entire life exploring these kinds of things. Okay, and if it can do that for 2, it can do it for 10. Okay, that's like a role-playing game, 10 characters or 5 players all doing stuff, and they're all putting their intentions, and it gets, okay, this is what you're doing together. This is the result. This is the narrative. Like that. Okay, and if we can do that for a game, and we can do that for the real world, a different, I call it P-scale, and I'll talk about that. So that's what I'm exploring. I need to have this mechanism, this means by which I can yap about a new thought, and I can, instead of having to do it alone and little notepads, and then trying to track it all, because there's a hell of a lot. I think the easiest thing to do is get a bunch of people on it. Of course, I'm going to do the thing because I have to do it because I'm alone and doing this thing. But if I can get 1 or 2 other people doing their bit, it means that the perspectives on it are simultaneous. And it should mean, once Xstream works, is that maybe 100 people or 1,000 people are all concurrently synthesizing, putting in some kind of content, and then the LLM is going, okay, all your people are producing all this stuff, and this is a result. Is this the result? Is this like a one result? And it could be a result for me, it could be a result for you, but it could be a result for all of us. A film, a video, an animation. So we're concurrently creating a film. Can you imagine that? And we will get to that point. Because the bit that's interesting is not the fucking end product, it's the creation of it. It's not actually the film. Okay, that's, if you want to watch a film, that's fine. Okay, but it's like, oh, okay, I've thought of something. Have you thought of something? Great, put it in. Okay, and then, oh look, there it is. There's the thought that I had. There it is now. The character opens the door. I thought, oh, I know what could be past that door. Oh look, it's the thing that I thought. Out of the 1,000 people watching, or the 1,000,000 people watching, I've just influenced what's actually happening in the outcome of the story. That's the direction we're going in. Okay, and if we don't get that right, I think AI is going to be replacing us. So we need to get ourselves coordinated so that we can produce these kinds of things at the rate and speed that we can do it, which is basically at the speed of thought. Okay, it's not in terms of a product, because that's just bought and sold. It's the imaginative capacity. It's being able to think something, or get in touch with something, or to feel something, or to imagine something, or to perform some maths, or whatever it is that we do. There are some aspects of our society that we're doing so badly because it's all getting turned into products, into solid stuff, and then transacting the solid stuff. And it simply does not work. And so Xstream is about helping us coordinate ourselves in vaporware, just talking and thinking, so that we coordinate ourselves in such an interesting way that there's people like wanting to pay attention. Why? Because it's useful. And because the monetization is on listening, not on eyeballs. Okay, not on ears. It's not on the number of people listening. Oh, 1,000,000 people are listening. Right, we can make money out of that. It's not that. It's there's 1,000,000 people listening because they're co-operative, co-listening, co-creating in a more of a receptive state than a expressive state. Okay, you obviously need at some point or other somebody gabbing. We definitely do need to have some kind of content, something to listen to. But what we are doing is we're responding to it. And there's aspects of our existence that are not about the word or even the music. It's to do with the feelings that arise when we listen to the music, the thoughts that arise, the beliefs that become clear to us as we are conscious. And if we can do that collectively in larger numbers of people, it's more like murmuration. Okay, so I've been trying to track this all my life. I've been attempting to generate what happened in classrooms with adults. Kids, it was relatively easy. That only took me a little time, well, actually, it was months basically, but I kind of got it down pat a few years. But transposing that to the world of adults has been a nightmare. Okay, 20 years later, have I got any results for it? None, zero, nil. Okay, so does it mean it's all rubbish? No, I mean, I have had some results. Okay, I have had some results, but not enough that the people who participated in the results actually acknowledge that I've been helpful to make those results. It's like the kids go, come up with something amazing, and they bugger off out of the class, and you're like, okay, I have nothing. I have nothing to show for it, do I? No. And so, so the only thing that we have is our presence and our decision. Okay, our decision is to pay attention, not to pay attention. To reflect on what it is that we're listening to, forking the thoughts that occur, the feelings that occur, the beliefs or intuitions that arise, and being sensitive to those and writing them out, expressing them, putting them out there, not in order to become somebody that puts it out there and then has to sell it, and now you're a guru or you're an author. No. It just means that because you've expressed that and an LLM's listening to it and it's other people are doing it, the LLM goes, oh, okay, guys, you guys kind of like this music. You guys like this. This is how you guys are thinking. This is how you're, oh, okay. And then you get together with people because you're resonating well. Not because of a similarity to object of thought, okay, but because we are interacting together well. It's not the football, it's the people playing the game. It's not the people playing the game, it's the fact that we're watching them play the game. Okay, so it's like that. Okay, and all we need to do is make sure that we're coordinated well enough. And this I call, it's psychosocial, it's ecological, but in a psychosocial way. It's not, oh, we have to learn from the ecology. No, that's biology. It's great, it's complex. But psychosocial, that's a completely different game. Okay, so when I talk about ecological economics, I'm not copying ecology, only in the sense that it's a system. And it's a system with people. So people have misunderstood what I've referred to as ecological economics, or eco squared. Okay, it's not about biology, it's about systems. Oh, people are systems. Oh, we are systems. People, fantastic. So psychosocial, So that's me recording all this. I don't know if this is recorded. I don't know if it's a stream. It just disappears. I don't know. Okay, so if for whatever reason you've come across this at some point in your existence, it's because something else has happened and it's gone well, and that's why you're listening to this. Okay, or you're like, oh, wait a minute, what's happening here? Who's this person? And you go back to this recording for some reason, and you're like, wait, people are, what? This guy's just like yabbering. What is he talking about? And so hopefully it'll become clearer if you look at various bits of content in the appropriate way, that the way that I'm sharing is insightful, okay, into my insights, whatever, but also you. So it's co-insightful. To incite. Wait, isn't that a term that's negative? To incite violence. Okay, we're inciting the positive version. Inciting, insight. Insight squared. Insight squared. Reflexive insight. I don't know. Okay. See, somebody else come up with the words for it. Okay, very good, very good. All right, thank you. Be well. Yes, it will stop. Yes, end.